Approaching narratives of youth from an asset-driven perspective, the authors of Performing Urgency link the poetry slams of the youth to, quote, youth intervention and say, quote, these moments of youth intervention highlight issues of urgency, hold the potential to build community, and provide the opportunity for coalitional action addressing the material circumstances of youth in Tucson, end quote. This project is certainly connected to the promise of multimodal composing Donna Rice and Art Young give in their essay Multimodal Composing, Appropriation, Remediation, and Reflection. I'm going to investigate how Performing Urgency exemplifies this creative play. The authors advance their co-researched argument by having an asset-driven perspective. Everyone can play. By negotiating the rules of the game with the players, so the co-researcher responses, so those are the students who are doing the slam poetry, and by giving definitions of key words throughout the article to give the player a quick, simple way to be reminded of the rules, the player or the reader. And then they theorize academic work as a kind of play. So in slam histories, they theorize the art of slam poetry as a knowledge producer. And then they also show the players playing the games. They show slam poets are a big part of the article. And then the layout of the article requires agency from the reader or the player. So the idea is that as the reader moves through this article, they have to decide which words they want to hover over that they're unsure about. They have to decide what order they're going to view the article in. So this is the layout of the article, and so you go sideways, and in the first list of things to look at, they have our perspective, and this is where they theorize they talk about their asset-driven perspective, and that's really important because that as you go through the article, in the next page they have co-researcher responses, and here they are running categories that they've created for the different poems by the poets themselves. And so the poets themselves, the youth poets, that they say that there are some things that are missing from their analysis, from their categorization. And so that informs the research that the authors of this article are doing. And so similarly, they're trying to bring us along with them in exploring these concepts, and so that they have throughout they have definitions of words, and that of words that they think are important to their study, and so that if you hover your key over those words, it sends you to the place at the back of the article where they give keywords, and so it's this definition then also that they are kind of playing with throughout the rest of the article. And then they also so they're theorizing the words they're using very particularly, but they're also sure to theorize slam. And so what's really interesting about this is that I picked this article because I'm interested in slam poetry, and that I do a lot of spoken word, or I did, and that they're theorizing a slam is that it's definitely different than just spoken word. so that slam always involves an audience, and the audience is equally participatory or participatory in a different way maybe than the poet themselves. And so that kind of informs the way that they're doing this article, where the people that they're studying, right, are informing the study. And so I guess this really cool juxtaposition of them doing something that they are that the object of their study, right, is informing how they're studying it. And then they also, so throughout they are kind of, let's see if I can find an example. So they include pictures of the poets, but they also throughout are like including videos of those poets doing their poetry in their article. And then, so at the end, they have all of the poems they use, and then even some they don't use throughout the article. And I am going to show you one now.
Yeah! Spit it.
The 10 Commandments of being Mexican. Number 1. Thou shalt eat tortillas and frijoles with every meal, even on Thanksgiving, because you know your damn turkey could always use a little bit of salsa.
Yeah!
Number 2. Always respect your nana, abuela, abuelita.
You go.
Always respect your nana, abuela, abuelita, because you know she'll beat your ass, cabrón, even if she's under 5 feet tall. Number 3. Never let anyone make fun of your shoes just because you got them at the swap meet. They don't understand that churros, kettle corn, bargains are good deals. A random guy selling his chickens is a cool place to spend your Friday and Saturday nights. Number 4. Follow the path of no white man, because we are our own race and we are our own people, and this is our revolution. And the day when the minority becomes the majority is closer than we think. I know ignorant, unfair, inhumane laws. Number 5. Look in your mother's eyes and swear to her that you will make it in this world, and you will make something of yourself. And every damn burrito she rolled, every damn taco she served, every damn restaurant she worked in, every damn insult spit in her face by bosses who abused the fact that she had no papers, every damn trailer park, every damn sleepless night counting numbers that will never make ends meet, making sure we had the damn tortilla and our stomachs will not go to waste. Because that one tortilla in my stomach has become a fire. And I will redeem myself, Mom. I will redeem myself, and every sacrifice you made for us will not go to waste. Number 6. Don't forget where you came from. Whether you're Dominguez, Garcia, Lopez, Montañez, Calantes, Vázquez, Moreno, Cruz, Martinez, or any other name, don't forget where you came from. Number 7. French is not the language of love. Lo siento por los que nunca van a saber lo caliente que es el lenguaje español. El amor que corre por mis venas hispanas. Número 8. Can you hear the sweat drip? Dripping pulls the generations into the dirt. Evaporating in the hot desert sun like we never existed. The 8th commandment is the sound of his knees dropping to the ground. Jagged pebbles of the American dream stabbing into his knees. Lost somewhere between Rio Rico and the family praying to a Virgen de Guadalupe to protect them from the green monsters, the God, the land of opportunity. Not knowing that God is no longer the only one that can judge us once here in the land of America. Number 9. Don't let them take away years of blood, sweat, and tears. Books, classrooms, racial discrimination. What's next? Will history repeat itself? I dare you to try to burn through this callous skin. The harder it gets, the harder we work. You say we're worthless and we take your jobs? Do you know what hard-working Mexican hands taste like? Try not to choke on your tomato. Always remember that no matter how much soap you use, you'll always be brown.
Whoa!